Hey friends, hello everyone. Hi all. Diamon and I went float fishing for Crucian Carp. It's May here, but as you can see I'm wearing a hat, Diamond is wearing a cap, everyone is wearing jackets. I'm wearing a suit because it's really cold, 7 degrees above zero, and a strong wind is blowing. According to fishermen, Crucian Carp are being caught poorly today. There are already people sitting there trying, but it doesn't really work. But still, we're going to look for the key to catch it, right? Yes, in the form of glycerin and garlic. We're going to try fishing with worms and maggots. We've already cast one rod. So, how are we going to set up our fishing today? I'll quickly say a couple of words. The pond is very large and there hasn't been any sun for several days. And we still think that the Crucian Carp is in the shallow bay. A regular float rod. Diamond, the depth here is about 40 centimeters. It's actually quite shallow, got it. So now we're taking our little worms and casting them out. It will look something like this. The clay coast is quite... The approach is not comfortable, but it is the best for fishing, but Crucian Carp should be swimming in such places. If the weather was good, I would sit down somewhere. You can see foam. On the left it's coming. And all the food that's there could be knocked down here. But the wave, of course, guys. The weather is really not suitable for fishing at all. You can see the wind. I don't know what we'll be able to catch today, but we'll do our best. The bait, as I mentioned, is just regular worms. Both homemade, manure worms, so to speak, and garlic dough. Here it is. And glycerin. The wind is so strong in some places that it's impossible to reach the float. It's really being blown away. Alright, now we're going to hook the worm. Here's our worm. Look at it. It's a beauty, I showed you. And when you hook the worm, guys, there's one golden rule. It's essential to cover the hook's barb. Let's put the worm on. Alright, let's get to the tasty part. Here we go. And we thread the worm all the way along the hook, along the shank. Like this. We're making the cast, and today we're going to fish right from the bottom. We've spread out our rods, and now Diamond is feeding a little bit under each float. Guys, so as not to hold anyone up, it's been about an hour. Yeah, Diamond, an hour. There wasn't a single bite. So we're just getting ready and heading off to look for Crucian Carp somewhere further. Is it now? Somewhere in the reeds? We'll sit down with some of these, or maybe even more. We'll walk around the pond somewhere and see. So he must have gone somewhere. He's not here. Diamond is packing up the rest of our gear. The people who were sitting there are also packing up to go home because there's no bite. And we're going to keep going in search of fish. Guys, we decided to move to another pond with Diamond because there's absolutely nothing here. Complete silence. There's no fish there. The wind is huge, right, Diamond? Yeah. It's quiet here. But it's quiet here, not there. There's a bite there, here. We have another friend with us. Yeah, Diamond found himself a buddy. Diamond. Cartilage. Cartilage. Did you give him the nickname Cartilage? Well, or Funtic. Or Funtic. Guys, which do you like more, Funtic or Cartilage? Well, probably Funtic. Funtic, Hey, listen, we don't give you anything. We'll even give you the Hulk. No, I have a cookie in the car. Listen, the car is really far away. If you wait a minute, a couple of hours, if you wait, we'll definitely give you a candy and a cookie. Seriously, if you're going to be here, good job, Rijik. Demon, well, let's try it here now, yeah. This is a pretty nice spot. Reeds, I think it's really shallow here. But we hope there should be a little Crucian Carp here. So, Diamond, something really bad happened. A bite from the carp. Show me what happened to you. Yes, nothing serious basically, just my knee came out a little bit here. Well, I just switched places, it didn't break, it just popped out. No, it just popped out. I thought your fishing rod cracked in half, it was so dramatic. It was just a short flight. We've already cast out 2 floats. Here they are, good ones laid on the bottom. On the left there's a worm, on the right there's a dough ball. There's a bream here. The bream has already responded, by the way, at the shallow depth. So we'll wait for something to respond. And maybe some other fish too. Of course, I would really like to catch a Crucian Carp. Right now we're going to bait for that. A little bit of garlic goes in there. Let's mix it up again. Damn, look how it laid out. Wow. Both Crucian Carp, Dima, look at the worm. Got it, Diamond. Look, it's a dark one from the reeds. you place it on the bottom with the worm. And I was just filming the guys, you know, I immediately put one on the worms so you can catch them. You place it on the bottom and now we'll throw some in. Got it, Crucian Carp are fine. Guys, to ease this tense, boring situation, listen up, I'll tell you a funny joke. In general, the husband is a fisherman. The wife is tired of this every day, he mumbles. Mumbles about the show on fishing, on fishing, on fishing, on fishing. He always comes home with fish. Here he comes home again on fire on the road. Yesterday it was fried fish, today it's dried fish, tomorrow it's taranka, and the day after that smoked fish. I'll soon have scales on you. I'll cover myself, he doesn't answer, dear. It's better that you stalled for centuries, like a roach.
Well, we've baited the worm now. Let's drop a little glycerin on it.
A little drop of glycerin on the worm itself. And now it will start biting right away. The little crucian should bite. Glycerin may not have a strong smell, but it somehow affects the worm. Whoa. You can see that it's sealed tightly, so there's no deception here. Just regular glycerin.
We can even dip it in...
Just drop a little, Diamon. A little drop of glycerin is dripping on top. Alright, let's do this. The casts are flying out with the worm. Now we're going to start hammering those crucians. Let's go into battle. Don't fall. Don't fall, Diamon. Let's go, and we just do the same with the rest of the floats. Here's a float. The main thing is to place it on the bottom. That's where they'll bite from. There's such a nice little pond here. So, here's one float, here's the second float, and now we're setting up the other float just like that.
Here's the cartilage, little crucian for the cartilage.
Let's give it a try, Diamon. Maybe he will, but not with the hook. Let's try it with them, with her. There were fish there, and the dogs eat the fish, fool. My Christmas tree, are you going to eat it? He doesn't want it. Well, throw that bucket. Both, another crucian. Dima.
The float is set, my line is biting. My float isn't needed step by step.
My float? Wow, damn. My second float. Ah, we didn't make it.
Well, look. Here's the little crucian. I soaked my bait in glycerin. The weather is just terrible. We were at that pond, but at least here something is biting. Over there, nothing at all. We already told you about the perch in Siberia, and we caught everything there. We didn't even film them. Well, shall we move on? Let's try a bit more. Maybe they were biting at the half lake. Maybe further out something will bite. Wow, such a beauty.
Let's go fishing with you in the winter. Of course, it's going to be awesome to catch some. It will be... The dog is waiting. So, we'll finish up, yeah, and we'll serve it, and maybe we promise to catch some. Good job, you came, let's go. So Logan, in short, moved these little chips, guys. So this is it, the weeds. For the Crucians, of course, they're really tiny. Catch it, beaver! Where are the saws going further? In the club. So let's say when it's a no-bite day in the middle of nowhere and there's no fish, you end up catching these tiny Crucians. Diamon, did you see such active fishing? Well, of course. So what's going on there still?
Oh.
Barely.
Yeah, I started setting it up. Here's such a little one. All fishing like this. Well then, I guess we'll get ready. It's time to go out. Oops. And he was pecking, by the way. He was pecking. We noticed. We didn't even pay attention to it. And here we have this little Crucian carp. Well, we're going to wrap things up with this Crucian carp. Our fishing... Cool. You could say it's about 50-50. In this lake there's some, but in that one nothing at all. But still, there will be some. Video 6 lakes. Let's head home. Beaver, as promised, are you going to eat that?
A candy? Well... Hey Diamond, I see you've trained him. Alright, let's go. Good job, Beaver. Chew it up.